So let's talk about faxing software. Getting to this video, you were probably looking for faxing software. Cool. The fact that you're using the word software tells me that you've already moved beyond the traditional fax machine. And why wouldn't you? Keeping an extra phone line, always having paper, and worrying about when your ink is going to run out, those are just problems or mental loops, as I like to call them, that you got to keep going all the time in your mind. So the question becomes, what exactly were you looking for when you found this video? Are you looking to fax direct from your PC? Although you can do this, and I do know how to tell you how to do it, there's a tongue twister, this just isn't what you want to do. I'll explain why in just a minute. Are you looking to fax from your Mac? Again, probably not the best solution. The best way to send and receive faxes is over the internet and to do it using a web-based fax service. The best way that I found to use a web-based fax service is to use Gmail or another web-based email provider. So why is that? Well, probably the best reason is that you can send faxes from anywhere, not just at home or at the office. I distinctly remember one Friday night when I was working for a large real estate dev company in Miami. It was 8:15 Friday night and I get a call from my boss. She was also one of the owners of the company, so I had to take the call. She says, "Matt, did you send the fax?" Me, "You bet, Marcia. I did so right before I left." Her, "Did you get the confirmation?" What confirmation? "The confirmation that they received it, Matt." "No, Marcia, I didn't." I remember how bad I felt. I had to go back to the office and send it. But nevertheless, now they weren't even going to get it until Monday morning. Had I had a fax service on my laptop, things would have gone much differently. First of all, I would have sent it directly from my email and received the confirmation before I ever left work. Second of all, I could have sent it again from Gmail or another email without any issues. So the second reason that you want to use a fax service instead of a physical landline is your ability to receive faxes anywhere, 24 hours a day. 24/7 access comes in so handy when you're trying to do any of these things, such as getting a new business off the ground. If you've ever started a business, you know that every day and every part of a day counts. If you're sharing a phone line with your fax machine, while you're switching around phone cords, for sure that's when the call is going to come in that could probably make or break your business. What about when sending and receiving medical records or billing? Sometimes even a few minutes can make a huge difference when it comes to insurance companies and whether or not they're going to cover something. You don't want to be running around trying to find a fax machine. How about when interacting with government agencies? Oh my God, do those guys not have limited business hours? Your ability to respond quickly might get your information in before they close the doors for the day. Or let's say that you're trying to get a job and you're sending out resumes and the companies want them by fax. So are you going to go out to a local Kinko's and waste an hour every time you need to send a resume in? No. No. You're going to get it there as fast as humanly possible. Hopefully I'm making my case as to why you want an internet fax versus the PC-based or traditional fax solution. So now let's talk about what items you need to consider when selecting an online fax company. All right, the first thing that people usually want to talk about is price. Me too. When I was getting started, every dime counted. So let's chat about it. When you set up an online fax, there's a couple of trains of thought. One way to go is to just get a trial going and get all of your faxing done in the first 30 days. The other is to get a monthly account going and have your own fax number. You're going to have to decide ultimately what works for you. For me, I still use my fax number every month. It's just part of business. When someone wants to send me a fax and it's something important, I hate that mental game that I play with myself thinking, which number should I give them? I just want to give them the number, 206-549-2890, and move on to the next issue in my life. So for me, it's the full deal, but I've also been in the same shoes as that person that just needs to receive one fax, and maybe one next year. For you guys, the trial is the way to go today, but maybe in the next 30 days, you'll be in the position to make it happen on a more long-term basis. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all landing on this page and watching this video from different places in life. With most fax servicing companies, there's also two ways to pay, annual and monthly. So if you want it, but maybe not all today, that can work too. Maybe you only want it for 3 months while you're doing your job search. The monthly plan is perfect because there's no annual contracts. You find a job, cancel your account, that's it, no future payments. So what else should you consider? How about how much faxing you're doing every month? If you're like me, you're looking at 10 to 12 faxes a month. That's not too many. Honestly, I could probably make a 30-page per plan month work for me. But if faxing is part of your business, then you might be looking for 500 pages and beyond. With most of the packages, if you're not a heavy business user, you're probably looking at how many sheets can you fax out or receive with the basic package. Then the next item to look at, which is highly important to most of us, is the ability to send an email fax or Gmail fax if that's your preferred provider. I've done a whole series on faxing from Gmail, so we're not going to get into that right here. But it's important to note that HelloFax, which bills itself as a free Google Faxer, does require a $10 monthly charge if you want to send directly from Gmail. So with all of these items, you might be wondering, which one does Matt use? Well, I've tried pretty much all of them. I started with eFax. That was good, but I had to use a viewer to open my files or view them on their website. I think you can now open a PDF in your email, but the attitude of eFax is just a little bit much for me. In case you didn't know, they hold a patent on the whole electronic fax process. Every other company in the industry has to pay them $2 per month for use of their patented technology. In some ways, that kind of bugs me, but the inventor inside me is also glad to see someone getting paid for their invention. Then the next company I tried was RingCentral. It was a little bit difficult to get set up, but so worth it. You either need a landline or long-term cell phone to confirm your identity. That was the difficult part. But past that, RingCentral is a great company to work with. When I originally figured out how to set up a Gmail fax, I put up a page showing how to do it, and then after a few thousand people signed up for RingCentral because of it, RingCentral reached out to me directly to see if they could sweeten the deal somehow. So naturally, if you remember from just a minute ago, what I wanted most was a better price. Using the links below, you're going to be able to get RingCentral for $6.59 per month instead of $7.99 a month. I know that's not that big a deal, but in this economy, every dollar counts. Overall, RingCentral is probably my highest recommendation. But there's one more company really worth talking about, and that's Nextiva. Although they are one of the newer players, they have the very best reputation in the industry. They also have a unique feature where for around $100, they'll sell you a device that attaches to your existing fax machine and brings it into the digital world. How cool is that? On the page you're going to visit in just a second, you'll be able to review several different fax services all at once. Then you can select the best one. You'll be able to read more in depth about the pros and cons of each company, see their features, and make a well-educated decision. I hope I've been of some help. If you need help with the actual sign-up process, there's a link to a video for that as well. That's all I got for now. If you've got any comments or questions, drop them down below. Make sure to subscribe on the way out for future help navigating this complicated tech world we live in.